Can changing your breakfast really change your marriage, your confidence, your sense of masculinity? Most men wouldn't believe it until they've lived through the slow unraveling of their own vitality. That's exactly what happened to Mr. Richard, a 66-year-old retired accountant who walked into my clinic not because of chest pain or back problems, but because he felt like something deeper had been quietly slipping away. "Doctor," he told me, "I feel like I'm losing the part of me that made me a man." After 2 years of retirement, the strength in his legs had faded, his mornings were sluggish, and intimacy had become more of a memory than a reality. He couldn't explain it, but he felt distant from his own body. It's a story I've heard hundreds of times, and the pattern is always familiar. After the age of 60, the male body begins to undergo real, measurable changes. Testosterone levels decline steadily. Blood vessels lose their flexibility, causing slower circulation, especially to the lower body and pelvic region. The nerves that control sensation, movement, and sexual function become more fragile, more easily disrupted by inflammation, blood sugar fluctuations, or nutrient deficiencies. And yet, what most men don't realize is that these systems are not failing, they're starving. And the moment you wake up is your single greatest opportunity to feed them. This is why your breakfast matters more than you think. It's not just a meal, it's a message to your body. Eat poorly or not at all, and your body gets the signal to conserve, to shut down, to protect rather than perform. But eat strategically, with the right nutrients at the right time, and you give your body permission to circulate, to rebuild, and to respond. That morning window, within 60 minutes of waking, is when hormones like cortisol and insulin are most sensitive, when the nervous system is primed, and when your vascular network is wide open to healing. The wrong breakfast can sabotage your day, but the right one can unlock energy, clarity, and yes, intimacy. So no, Mr. Richard didn't need a prescription. What he needed was a shift, a new understanding of how food fuels not just the body, but identity. We started by making one small change to his breakfast, and within weeks he began to feel like himself again. Not younger, but stronger. Not perfect, but present. If this resonates with you, if you felt the slow fade of connection, vitality, or responsiveness, it's time to pay attention. Because there are 5 foods that I've seen transform thousands of lives. 5 foods that target blood flow, nerve health, hormonal support, and energy, all by doing one thing, feeding the part of your body that still wants to thrive. Let's begin with the first. For many men over 60, waking up feeling groggy, stiff, or disconnected from their body has become a silent routine, one they often chalk up to aging. But after working with older adults for over 3 decades, I've learned that sometimes the simplest shifts, like what you eat before 8 a.m., can ripple across your entire system, especially when it comes to circulation, pelvic stability, and even quality of sleep. One of the most underestimated but powerful tools in that early morning window is plain, unsweetened yogurt. What makes plain yogurt so remarkable for men past midlife isn't just its creamy texture or high protein content. It's the live probiotics that go to work immediately inside your gut. As we age, the diversity of our gut microbiome naturally declines, leading to a rise in gut-based inflammation, poor nutrient absorption, and even mood fluctuations. But probiotics, live beneficial bacteria, help repopulate that terrain, pushing out inflammatory microbes and supporting the gut lining where much of your immune and circulatory health begins. From a circulatory standpoint, inflammation is the enemy. Chronic low-grade inflammation narrows blood vessels and impairs endothelial function, the very mechanism that allows blood to travel freely, especially to the pelvic region and lower limbs. Probiotics help calm that fire. They downregulate pro-inflammatory cytokines like IL-6 and TNF-alpha, while improving gut permeability, reducing the chance that endotoxins leak into the bloodstream and disrupt vascular flow. Plain yogurt is also an excellent source of bioavailable calcium, which assists in vascular tone and muscle contraction, particularly important for the pelvic floor muscles that tend to weaken with age. These muscles are crucial not only for continence, but also for intimate function and balance. Combined with its high-quality protein, yogurt provides the building blocks to nourish those muscles and tissues before they break down further. Let me give you a real-world example. I had a patient named Mr. William, 70 years old, who came to see me not for a heart condition or diabetes, but for something he struggled to say out loud. Nightly trips to the bathroom and a sense of growing numbness in his groin area. He wasn't in pain, but something didn't feel right. He also hadn't had a full night of sleep in over a year. After a full workup that ruled out serious pathology, we turned to his morning routine, or rather, the lack of one. He skipped breakfast, drank black coffee, and snacked around 11 a.m. I asked him to try something unconventional. Start each morning with a bowl of plain yogurt, slightly warmed, with a teaspoon of honey and a tablespoon of ground flaxseed. Flaxseed added omega-3 fatty acids and fiber, which work hand in hand with probiotics to reduce systemic inflammation and improve bowel regularity, another often overlooked factor in pelvic health. The key was consistency and timing. Before 8 a.m., while cortisol levels were naturally elevated and the body's metabolism was primed for absorption. 3 weeks later, Mr. William returned for his follow-up. He looked rested, his tone more upbeat. "Doc," he said, "I slept through the night 4 times this week. That hasn't happened in years." He also noted fewer urges to urinate and a subtle but distinct increase in sensitivity and warmth in his lower body. It wasn't a miracle, it was physiology given the right conditions. I often tell my patients, don't underestimate the small things. What seems like a modest breakfast change is actually a strategic intervention. Warm yogurt in the morning with flaxseed and natural honey isn't just a snack, it's a biological message that says, wake up, nourish, restore. Avoid eating it cold, especially if you tend to feel sluggish in the mornings. A cold gut is a slow gut. Let it reach room temperature or warm it slightly to make digestion more efficient. And if you want to take things to the next level, your next best step is to combine circulatory support with deeper muscular and arterial nourishment. That's where one of my favorite pairings comes in: quinoa and almonds. Together, they form what I like to call a vascular breakfast bowl, delivering magnesium, healthy fats, and natural anti-inflammatory compounds in a form your aging body knows exactly how to use. Let's take a closer look at why this grain and nut duo may be the upgrade your arteries have been waiting for. For men over 60, circulation isn't just a matter of blood flow. It's a foundation for movement, energy, mental clarity, and intimacy. And while many turn to medications to address circulatory decline, few realize that one of the most powerful vasodilators might already be in their pantry. I'm talking about the humble yet mighty pairing of quinoa and almonds, 2 whole foods that work synergistically to relax blood vessels, lower bad cholesterol, and energize the body from the inside out. Quinoa, technically a seed but used as a grain, is one of nature's rare complete proteins. It contains all 9 essential amino acids, which are vital for repairing tissues and maintaining muscle tone, especially critical for men facing natural muscle loss with age. But what makes quinoa especially beneficial for circulation is its rich magnesium content. Magnesium acts as a natural calcium channel blocker, helping blood vessels relax and widen, which promotes better blood flow and reduces resistance in the arteries. This isn't just theoretical. Magnesium deficiency has been strongly linked to hypertension, stiffness in blood vessels, and increased cardiovascular risk. all of which become more pronounced after 60. In addition to magnesium, quinoa provides a solid dose of fiber, which helps to bind excess cholesterol in the digestive tract and carry it out of the body. Lower cholesterol levels mean less plaque buildup in arteries, leading to more efficient oxygen delivery and nutrient transport to vital organs and tissues. Yes, including those down there. What you get is a smoother system, better blood flow, lower blood pressure, and a calmer heart. And it's not just about heart health. Improved circulation plays a key role in cognitive sharpness, stamina, and even emotional resilience. But we don't stop there. Adding almonds into the mix takes this breakfast to another level. Almonds are loaded with monounsaturated fats, the good kind, the same ones found in olive oil and avocado. These fats support the production of HDL good cholesterol while reducing LDL bad cholesterol, and they have a direct anti-inflammatory effect on blood vessels. On top of that, almonds are rich in vitamin E, a powerful antioxidant that helps protect the endothelium, the thin membrane lining the blood vessels, from oxidative stress. When the endothelium is damaged, blood vessels lose their ability to expand, leading to poor circulation and fatigue. Almonds help restore that balance. One of my longtime patients, Mr. Thomas, age 72, had been struggling with persistent fatigue, especially when walking upstairs. He told me that by the time he reached the second floor of his home, his legs felt like lead. His energy levels had dropped, and even simple chores around the house seemed exhausting. He assumed it was just age catching up to him, but after reviewing his routine, I noticed that his breakfast consisted of processed cereal and instant coffee, empty carbs and caffeine without any real nourishment. I encouraged him to try something different for 4 weeks. Soak quinoa overnight, cook it in the morning with a handful of dry roasted almonds, a few fresh strawberries, and a pinch of cinnamon. He was skeptical. He'd never even heard of quinoa before, but agreed to give it a try. 2 weeks later, he called me not just with an update, but with enthusiasm I hadn't heard in years. "Doc," he said, "I climbed the stairs without stopping. I feel lighter. I'm walking longer. Even my mood's better." That's the power of nutrient-dense food. When it's given at the right time in the right form, it acts like medicine without side effects. Preparing quinoa is easy, even for those new to it. Just soak a half cup of raw quinoa in water overnight to reduce phytic acid and improve absorption. In the morning, drain and simmer it in water or almond milk for 10-15 minutes until the grains become soft and translucent. Top with crushed roasted almonds, sliced strawberries, and a sprinkle of cinnamon. The combination of magnesium, antioxidants, fiber, and healthy fats makes it a perfect circulatory breakfast, warming, sustaining, and therapeutic. I often tell my patients, this isn't just food, it's daily therapy. And while the effects may be subtle at first, consistent intake can yield powerful results over time. It's also a great option for those looking to manage blood sugar, reduce inflammation, and maintain a healthy weight. But if you want to supercharge your morning routine with a natural compound that works almost like a nitric oxide booster without a single prescription, then you'll want to pay attention to the next food on our list. Pomegranate. Let's explore why this vibrant fruit has been called nature's answer to vascular renewal. Among the many natural foods that support male vitality after 60, few are as underestimated and as potent as the pomegranate. Often seen as a festive garnish or holiday fruit, this crimson powerhouse offers something far more therapeutic than most men realize. In fact, when consumed at the right time and in the right form, pomegranate acts as a natural nitric oxide booster, enhancing blood flow in ways that closely resemble the effects of erectile dysfunction medications, but without the synthetic side effects. So how does it work? Nitric oxide is a molecule naturally produced by the lining of your blood vessels, the endothelium. It's responsible for signaling those vessels to relax and expand, a process known as vasodilation. When blood vessels are dilated, blood can flow more freely, especially to the lower extremities and pelvic region. Unfortunately, as men age, no production declines due to oxidative stress, inflammation, and diminished endothelial function. The result: weakened circulation, lower energy, and reduced performance both physically and sexually. Here's where the pomegranate shines. It's one of the richest natural sources of polyphenols, especially punicalagins, powerful antioxidants that protect the endothelium and enhance nitric oxide production. Several human studies have shown that pomegranate juice increases nitric oxide synthase activity, which in turn raises blood NO levels, improves arterial elasticity, and enhances oxygen delivery. In other words, it helps restore what time has gradually taken away, and it does so with precision and without disrupting your body's natural rhythms. One patient of mine, Mr. Robert, 68 years old and recently retired, came in during a winter checkup, not for heart concerns or mobility, but for something more personal. "Doc," he said, shifting uncomfortably, "I've been avoiding intimacy for months. I don't feel like myself anymore." We reviewed his blood work, which was mostly normal, but I knew the symptoms were tied to circulation, specifically pelvic blood flow. He wasn't ready for medication, and frankly, he didn't need it. Instead, I asked him to try a morning ritual: 8 ounces of fresh, unsweetened pomegranate juice first thing upon waking, on an empty stomach. Nothing else, no breakfast, no coffee for at least 30 minutes. I told him to do this daily for 2 weeks. He called me after 10 days, surprised and slightly amused. "Doc, I don't know if it's the juice or a coincidence, but let's just say things are working again." He laughed, relieved. But it wasn't a coincidence. It was in circulation, finally restored. And that's what I've seen time and again. Pomegranate doesn't just help with blood flow. It supports nerve sensitivity, reduces inflammation, and helps men reconnect with parts of themselves they thought were fading. Unlike pills that force a mechanical response, pomegranate supports the body's own vascular system to perform naturally and reliably over time. That said, it's important to choose the right form. Many commercial pomegranate juices are loaded with added sugars and processed in a way that strips away the most beneficial antioxidants. Always opt for cold-pressed, unsweetened juice, or better yet, fresh pomegranate seeds. Half a cup of seeds or 1 small glass of juice is enough to get the full effect. Timing also matters. The best results come when it's consumed on an empty stomach, preferably within 30 minutes of waking, when your blood vessels are most responsive. And while pomegranate is excellent for jump-starting nitric oxide, it's not the only food that can awaken the body at a deep cellular level. Some mornings, especially when the nervous system feels sluggish, when your legs feel heavy, or sensation seems dulled, it's not just blood flow that needs attention, but the nerves themselves. In those cases, I turn to one of the most elegant combinations in nature: avocado paired with extra virgin olive oil. Let's low. When it comes to restoring nerve function and reducing the subtle but frustrating symptoms of aging, like numbness in the feet, a heavy feeling in the pelvic region, or a dull ache in the lower back, few foods are as quietly powerful as the combination of avocado and extra virgin olive oil. This pairing doesn't just taste good, it supports your nervous system at the cellular level, helping to reawaken the connections between your brain, spine, and muscles, especially those that control movement, balance, and intimate function. Avocados are one of the richest natural sources of monounsaturated fats, which are known to reduce inflammation and support vascular health. But beyond circulation, these fats play an essential role in the structure of nerve cell membranes. As we age, the protective coating around our nerves, the myelin sheath, can degrade, leading to slower nerve conduction, decreased sensitivity, and poor coordination. Healthy fats like those found in avocados help rebuild and maintain that sheath, allowing electrical impulses to travel efficiently through the nervous system. Avocados are also packed with potassium, more than bananas, which is critical for nerve signal transmission. Potassium regulates the movement of electrical charges across cell membranes. Without it, nerve signals slow down, muscles cramp more easily, and reflexes weaken. Add to that the fact that avocados are rich in vitamin B6 and folate, two nutrients required for neurotransmitter synthesis, and you have a food that doesn't just feed your body, it fine-tunes your nervous system. Then there's olive oil. High in oleic acid and polyphenols, extra virgin olive oil helps reduce inflammation in both blood vessels and nerve tissues. Chronic low-grade inflammation can silently damage the nerves that control the legs, feet, and even the pelvic floor. By reducing oxidative stress and supporting healthy lipid levels in the bloodstream, olive oil ensures that nutrients reach your most delicate tissues, including the tiny nerve fibers responsible for sensation and control in the lower body. I recall one patient in particular, Mr. Stephen, 74 years old, who came in complaining that his legs felt numb and heavy in the morning. He said he had to lean on the bathroom counter just to stand upright after getting out of bed. He wasn't in severe pain, but he felt disconnected from his lower body, like his movements were slow and clumsy. I asked him about his morning routine, and it was mostly toast and instant coffee, nothing nourishing. We made a simple change. Every morning, half an avocado mashed with a teaspoon of extra virgin olive oil, sprinkled with black sesame seeds, followed by a glass of warm water. He didn't expect much. But 5 days later, he called me, sounding surprised. "Doc," he said, "I didn't lean on anything this morning. My legs felt lighter. I just got up." That's the power of giving the nervous system what it needs: fats, minerals, hydration, and anti-inflammatory support, all before the day even begins. For those wanting to try this at home, the preparation is simple. Take half a ripe avocado, mash it lightly, and mix in a drizzle of high-quality extra virgin olive oil. Top it with a few black sesame seeds for added lignans and trace minerals. These seeds have long been used in traditional medicine for joint and nerve support, and they complement the fat profile beautifully. Consume it slowly, mindfully, ideally before 8:30 a.m., and drink a warm glass of water afterward to support hydration and digestion. This isn't a flashy breakfast. It's not something you'll see advertised on a cereal box, but it's one of the most powerful neurovascular tonics you can put in your body. Over time, it doesn't just improve nerve signal strength, it helps restore balance, responsiveness, and that subtle yet essential sense of control in your lower body. And if you're looking to round out this nerve and blood-enhancing routine with something small yet mighty, something that supports vascular integrity, improves endurance, and adds a sweet note to your mornings, then it's time to talk about one of nature's most overlooked treasures. Blackberries. Let's explore why this tiny fruit holds such massive potential for men over 60. Sometimes it's the smallest things that make the biggest difference, especially when it comes to circulation and vitality after 60. Blackberries, often overlooked in favor of trendier superfoods, are one of the most potent vascular allies for older adults. These small, dark fruits aren't just sweet and refreshing. They're biochemical powerhouses packed with compounds that directly support blood flow, tissue sensitivity, and overall lower body responsiveness. Their deep purple-black color isn't just for show. It's a signal of one of their most valuable components, anthocyanins. Anthocyanins are plant-based antioxidants that help protect and restore the integrity of blood vessels. In particular, they support the flexibility of arterial walls, improving what's known as vascular compliance, the ability of blood vessels to expand and contract as needed. This is critical for older men, especially those who experience cold feet, numbness, or reduced sensation in the groin and pelvic region. When blood vessels stiffen with age, blood can't circulate freely to the areas that need it most. Anthocyanins work by reducing oxidative stress, enhancing nitric oxide production, and protecting endothelial cells from damage. In essence, they help your arteries breathe again, which directly improves blood flow to the legs, pelvic muscles, and even the nerve endings responsible for sensation and desire. But the benefits go beyond circulation. Blackberries also contain vitamin C, which strengthens capillaries and supports collagen formation, key for tissue elasticity, and they offer a decent dose of fiber, which helps maintain stable blood sugar levels. This matters more than people think, because blood sugar spikes and crashes can constrict blood vessels and interfere with nerve signaling, especially in delicate regions. I think of one of my patients, Mr. Raymond, age 72, who had slowly lost his sense of connection to his own body. He wasn't in pain, but he told me, "Doc, it's like someone turned the volume down on everything below the belt." He also mentioned that his mornings felt flat, both physically and emotionally. We had already worked on his sleep, mobility, and circulation, but I suggested one final addition to his breakfast. A handful of fresh blackberries stirred into his morning bowl of plain yogurt. Within a week, he came back smiling. "It's subtle," he said, "but I feel more aware, more responsive, and even my appetite's back." That wasn't just placebo. The anthocyanins had begun their work, restoring the microcirculation that supports not only sexual health but emotional confidence. When blood reaches where it needs to go, so does energy, so does life. To get the full benefit, I always recommend fresh blackberries over dried or sweetened ones. The antioxidant content is highest in berries that are plump, dark, and ripe. Frozen is acceptable if fresh isn't available, but avoid any products with added sugar or preservatives. The best time to consume them is before 9 a.m., preferably with a source of healthy fat, like yogurt, flaxseed, or chia, which helps slow the absorption of natural sugars and enhances nutrient uptake. And be mindful of your digestive sensitivity. Eating blackberries too late in the morning or on top of a heavy meal may cause bloating or discomfort in some individuals. Blackberries might not sound revolutionary, but for the aging male body, they can be. They offer just enough of a circulatory and neurological nudge to restore balance, awaken sensation, and rebuild confidence, quietly, naturally, and without side effects. They are a testament to the idea that food, when chosen with intention, can truly become medicine. And now that we've explored these 5 simple but powerful morning foods, each with its role in improving blood flow, restoring nerve sensitivity, and renewing energy, it's time to take a step back and look at the bigger picture. Because behind every food choice is a deeper truth. Aging well isn't about avoiding time, it's about aligning with it. Let's close with the core philosophy that ties all of this together. How breakfast becomes a daily act of reclaiming vitality, and how every small change contributes to the larger story of aging with strength and intention. When we step back and look at the bigger picture, the message becomes clear. 5 simple foods: plain yogurt, quinoa with almonds, pomegranate, avocado with olive oil, and blackberries, aren't just breakfast items. They are daily tools for restoring blood flow, reviving nerve function, improving sexual health, and renewing physical energy. Together, they support the systems that matter most to men over 60. Circulation, muscle integrity, nerve conduction, and hormonal balance. Each one works through a different mechanism, but they share a common goal: helping you feel more alive, more connected, and more in control of your body again. The greatest lesson here isn't just nutritional, it's philosophical. Aging doesn't strip away masculinity. It only takes from those who stop fighting for it. Strength, desire, clarity, movement, they don't vanish with the calendar. They fade when we stop giving the body what it needs to keep them alive. Reclaiming your health isn't about chasing youth. It's about honoring who you still are and who you can continue to be with the right choices. To help you take that first step, here's a simple 7-day plan you can follow starting tomorrow morning. Rotate these 5 foods through your week. For example, Day 1, plain yogurt with flaxseed and honey. Day 2, warm quinoa with almonds and strawberries. Day 3, a glass of fresh pomegranate juice on an empty stomach. Day 4, mashed avocado with olive oil and sesame seeds. Day 5, plain yogurt topped with fresh blackberries. Day 6, quinoa with a sprinkle of cinnamon and olive oil. Day 7, a combination of 2, yogurt with blackberries followed by pomegranate juice. You don't need to be perfect, just be consistent. Listen to your body, start small. And most importantly, don't wait. Begin tomorrow morning. Take that one quiet, intentional action and let it be the foundation for your comeback. And once you start noticing changes, whether it's more energy in your legs, clearer mornings, better sleep, or a renewed sense of confidence, share it. Tell your story. You never know who else might need to hear it. Your journey could be the very spark that helps another man stand tall again.